The Department of Personnel and Training, DoPT, successfully implemented the Hon'ble Prime Minister's vision for Induction Training Programme for cutting-edge level government functionaries. To take this a step further, DoPT, with the guidance of Secretary P, has come up with the initiative of blended training program called Comprehensive Online Modified Modules for Induction Training, COMMIT. This video is only a part of COMMIT program conducted by the Department of Personnel and Training, DoPT, for government employees. Some of the course material I felt is so important and informative that I thought I must share this with you, and sharing this only meant for education and knowledge purpose. There is no any other intention lies behind sharing it. I would have shared every unit of the modules as they were so informative, knowledge-oriented and interesting, but I cannot. Because these course materials are designed to train government staff and I am not authorized to do it. Whatever few videos I published is only for the sake of knowledge and its importance. At the end, I would like to say that any person working under DoPT or directly involved and own the COMMIT program find it not suitable may contact me with your details and I shall remove it immediately. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the unit on emotional quotient. It has been noticed that people with average intellectual quotient of IQ quite often outperform those with high IQ in certain tasks. Why do you think this happens? Obviously, higher IQ may not always translate into better performance. There are tasks that need a substantial amount of emotional quotient or EQ. In such cases, IQ alone will not help the person. A combination of IQ and EQ is required in most situations. In some cases, EQ may overshadow IQ for delivery. In this unit, you will learn more about EQ and IQ and how we need both to do well as a government employee. By the end of this unit, you will be able to define and distinguish between IQ and EQ and define the need for IQ and EQ to solve problems. IQ is a measure of a person's intelligence using standardized tests. This has been the traditional way of testing a person's capability and intelligence. A person's general ability to solve problems and understand concepts are measured in these tests. IQ typically includes reasoning ability, problem-solving ability, ability to identify relationships between things, and the ability to store and retrieve information. IQ is represented as a number that expresses the apparent relative intelligence of a person. IQ tests use a standardized scale with 100 as the median score. A score between 90 and 110 indicates average intelligence. A score above 130 indicates exceptional intelligence. A score below 70 may indicate mental retardation. The scores are corrected for age of the person being measured, and relative scores are published against the median for that age. Let us next know what is measured in an IQ test. An IQ test measures the general ability to solve problems and understand concepts. This includes reasoning ability, problem-solving ability, ability to perceive relationships between things, and ability to store and retrieve information. Now, let us learn about emotional quotient or EQ. EQ is the emotional equivalent of an IQ. It reflects an individual's skill level at reading, understanding, and empathizing with the emotions of others. EQ at work refers to an employee's understanding of emotions at the workplace, your emotions and emotions of co-workers. This helps in better coordination of work, and the work environment becomes conducive for delivering output. EQ has 5 elements. They are knowing one's emotions, controlling one's emotions, recognizing emotions in others or empathy, controlling emotions in others and improvement in emotional control. Now we know that IQ can be measured. However, there is no standardized method to calculate EQ. Let us next know what is measured in an EQ test. There are many tests that measure emotional quotient and emotional intelligence, or EI. There are two parts of the measurement: intrapersonal EQ and interpersonal EQ. Interpersonal emotional quotient measures three elements. They are self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. Measurement of self-awareness pertains to the ability to recognize and understand your own moods, emotions, and drives, and how this affects others. Measurement of self-regulation pertains to the ability to control disruptive impulses and the ability to suspend judgment and think before acting. Measurement of motivation pertains to the passion to work for reasons that go beyond money, status, and a propensity to pursue goals with energy and persistence. Interpersonal emotional quotient measures two elements. They are social skills and empathy. Measurement of social skills pertains to the ability to manage relationships and build networks. Measurement of empathy pertains to the ability to understand the emotional makeup of other people. Let us next know about the need for IQ and EQ at work. Both IQ and EQ are required for working effectively as a government employee. IQ is required for you to learn new concepts and variations at work and solve problems. EQ is required to understand the emotional nuances of a situation and emotions of various stakeholders, especially citizens whom we serve. Through recent studies, psychologists claim that IQ helps us not more than 25% to be successful, and that EQ helps to a greater extent to succeed at work. Take the example of an Anganwadi worker. Unless she empathizes with a pregnant woman or young children, despite knowing everything about nutrition, she is unlikely to be successful. Consider a block coordinator of SBM. Unless he understands the behaviors and emotions of villagers regarding open defecation, he cannot get his block declared ODF with just IQ. Knowing the best toilet technology and processes for rolling out the SBM agenda alone will not help him. Similarly, a teacher may be very good in teaching mathematics, but if she does not understand the emotions of children who are scared of the subject, she is unlikely to be successful. In this unit, you have learnt that IQ is a measure of a person's intelligence using standardized tests. An IQ test measures the general ability to solve problems and understand concepts. EQ is the emotional equivalent of an IQ. It reflects an individual's skill level at reading, understanding, and empathizing with the emotions of others. There are two parts to EQ measurement: intrapersonal EQ and interpersonal EQ. And at workplace, IQ is required for you to learn new concepts and variations at work and solve problems. EQ is required to understand the emotional nuances of a situation and emotions of citizens.